Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hopefully you're all doing well. Gonna go over another blind today. This is one that I actually purchased for my dad to use last year, but I actually ended up using it myself a couple of times and I really like it. There's some things about this blind that are unique to it that no other layout blind really hits like this on the market, and there's other blinds that this company produces that shares the same comfort features. So the blind that we're going to review today is the Alpz Outdoorz Zero layout blind. The difference between the Zero layout blind and the Legend layout blind is the Legend is more like your traditional layout blind. I like the Legend a lot when I'm hunting in larger groups where the layout blinds are all stacked pretty close together. I find the Legend is a little bit easier to fit in to a group situation, whereas the Zero, it's better if you're in a scenario where you have a little bit more space, and you'll see why. Because the really neat thing about the Alpz Outdoorz Zero layout blind is it has no sharp angles to it. It grasses in really well, and I've used this a couple times, and I've really liked it. The birds have no idea that you're there. You blend in a lot better. And if you're solo hunting and it's a middle of the field situation, it just looks like a bump on the ground. It really conceals very, very well. There's a lot of space in there. So let's go over the setup of it. It's pretty quick to set up. The biggest thing about this blind here is when we look at it, the Zero has the built-in Alps Outdoorz, almost you call it like an infinity kind of layout chair in there, and it gets you up off the ground, and it just makes for those longer days to feel a lot better. And there is a ton of storage space in this. Doors, no resistance to them, and open and close really easily. Tons of stubble strats on this guy to get it brushed in. One thing highly recommend doing is to mud this blind in. It is really shiny when it comes out of the box, and first year I didn't do that. I kind of regret not mudding it right off the bat. So if you buy one of these, mud it in. It really comes out looking amazing after you put the mud on it, and then once you beat the mud off of it. So if you're in those hunting situations where all the blinds are a little bit more tighter together and you're hunting with a larger group, showing up with something like that, some people might say something to you. So you can actually cut down the square footage on this and not be that person who takes up too much room in the setup. Let me show you that. Alright, you can see what I've done here is I've just pulled the pins out and you just tuck the fabric in. If you grab some corn stalks and you throw it down on top of it, it weights it down that the wind won't even affect it, and all of a sudden you have that still the Zero kind of sharp edges. There's no sharp edges still, but you've reduced the amount of space. It's not ideal, but if if that's going to be your blind, finding out more ways how to use it and work it into different situations can lead to a better hunt experience sometimes. Alright, so that concludes the Alpz Outdoorz Zero layout blind. All in all, I like it. It is, in terms of how a layout blind, very well concealed. It doesn't have any sharp edges to it. Some of the downsides right off the bat, it is a bigger footprint that it takes up. It also takes more grass to grass it in, because there's more material, more grass or corn to use to grass it in. If you have a situation where you get the blind all staked in and you have to move the blinds, and you put it kind of like at the wrong angle and you have to move it a little bit to make up for where you're hunting, or conditions change, it's kind of a bit of a pain to unstake it and then have to like move your blind and then restake it. One of the added benefits though to the blind though is how easy it is to set up. There's no floor to it. There is absolutely no floor to it. So you don't have to worry about at the end of the season kind of hosing out the bottom of your layout blind or doing anything like that. It stays pretty clean because of having no floor. Mobility issues to the blind. You have to get in and out of the blind in a certain way. Trying to kind of step over into it might be a bit of a pain if you find that taking larger steps is a little bit of an issue. If that's the case, I'd go to the Legend layout blind from Alpz, not this one. But if this was going to be your layout blind that you chose, you can use it in pretty much any layout hunting situation. It's just if you're hunting with a large group, you may have to take the side flaps and fold them in so you don't take up as much of a footprint. All in all, I really like this blind. I will continue to use it, and it has added benefits that adds to my hunting spread that I have, and it's really comfortable. As I said, it's part of the Alpz Outdoorz layout blind series. They have 2 of them currently right now. You can get 2 different color schemes. They may launch even more, but the big thing about the material is if you get it, I highly recommend mudding it in as soon as you get it. It's a very shiny material, but when you put that mud on it and it dries and then you dust all that mud off, it really, really dulls the color down and allows the blind to get brushed in, and the color is just held back. It's not pushing through the brush that you put on it, whether it's corn or whether it's grass. So big benefit that you can put it on your back, carry it in very easily. Downside, when you do get it brushed in, it does increase the weight quite a bit, like any layout blind, but this one, it definitely is a little bit heavier than other competitors out there when it gets brushed in because of all the material it holds. The other factor is that with this blind here, it is certainly not the lightest one out there, but for me, it's the most comfortable one. You can spend a full day in this blind and you'll be very comfortable compared to other blinds where you're directly down to the ground. Now, if you're looking for that very light layout blind situation that is super light, you have a long distance that you have to pack in, this probably is not going to be the blind for you. But if you're more of looking for the glamping style of a layout blind where you can simply throw it on your back or drive it to your spot and it's not too far, or you have the access of a vehicle to throw all the blinds in the back and drive out to your spot, set them up, it's pretty hard to beat this for comfort. Whether you go with the Zero or the Legend, the chair that they put into it is absolutely amazing. And ultimately, you can buy the chair on its own. Where I live, unfortunately, we don't get a lot of snow geese. And I watch videos and I'm so envious, and hopefully someday I can get on a snow goose hunt somewhere. And it looks so cool, just kind of like having no blind where you're just lying all in white down amongst your decoys. They actually make just a chair on its own, specifically for that. So you can check that out on their website.
I'm not sponsored. I have no kickbacks or anything like that from Alps Outdoors. At this point, if they want to sponsor me, I love your products. Like, hit me up. But right now, it's just I use what I want to use. I'm very, very focus driven on what will make me the most comfortable out there, and so this is the stuff that I've chosen. And if it helps you in your search for your next layout blind, this stuff, watching videos about this, it helped me, so hopefully it helps you. But again, thank you so much for all the posts, all the subscriptions, the likes, the views. I really love doing this stuff, and as the channel continues to grow, it's just I'm looking for more content, more stuff to put up. And so once again, the most important thing is thank you all, and I can't wait to get out into the field and bring you guys with me. All right.